We want to learn how to solve a right angle triangle. In this example, I'm going to label my triangle. Remember A and B for the vertices and then C for this, which is right opposite to the hypotenuse. In this triangle, this is going to be small a, side opposite capital B is a small b, side opposite capital C is a small c, or the hypotenuse. We always label our triangle like this. If I do have my angle A, which is 30 degrees, and I do have the hypotenuse, let's say hypotenuse is 10 meters, or 10 is the unit. Let's see if I can find either size A or B. First, let's focus and try to find side A. How do I find side A? What do I have? I have angle A and I do have the hypotenuse. So I'm going to write down on top of my page so ka toi. And then I go ahead and look at this and say, if I have my angle and I do have the hypotenuse and I'm missing this, that is opposite to that, right? So I need the opposite. And I do have the hypotenuse. Then I come back here, take a look at the ratios and say, opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So I pick my ratio. Then I go here and say sine 30 equals to opposite over hypotenuse sine 30. I'm going to use my calculator. I go sine 30 degrees, and that's going to give me 0.5. And I make that equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse over here is 10. Now I can find the opposite side. How do I find that? Cross multiply. So the opposite side is gonna be my O here, right? Equals to 10 times 0.5. That's going to be 5. So opposite is gonna be 5. Let's do another example. I'm gonna draw another triangle for you. And this time I'm gonna have this angle, let's say that's 50 degrees. That's my 90. I know that this side or the hypotenuse is actually 35, whatever the unit is, and I'm trying to find this side, x, that is missing. First step, I'm going to go and label the one that I have and the one that I'm looking for. If this is 50, what is that? Yes, that's hypotenuse. How do I know? Because h is always opposite to 90 degree. If that's 50, what is x? X is going to be my adjacent. So, adjacent and hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is going to be cosine. So I'm going to go cosine 50 is adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine 50, I need a calculator for that. Adjacent, I do not know. Hypotenuse is 35, so that's cosine 50. So adjacent is going to be, let's cross multiply them. Cosine 50, I'm going to use my calculator for that, multiplied by 35. And the answer is, you're going to tell me what the answer is. Let us do the last example on this part of the lesson. I have, again, a right angle triangle like this. I'm gonna know that this is 45 degrees. And they tell me that this side is 7 inches, or whatever unit, just 7. And this side is missing, X is missing. In this case, I'm gonna look at my angle and I am going to label the sides that are given and the one which is missing. To 45, what is this? That's the opposite, correct? That's the opposite. That's the opposite to 45. What is this long side? What is this? How do I know what that is? Isn't that right opposite to the 90 degree? So I call it the hypotenuse, or my H. That leaves X to be the adjacent. If X is missing, and I do have 45, which ratio am I gonna use? Opposite over adjacent. So opposite over adjacent is tangent, because I do have the opposite and I'm looking for the adjacent, so I have to use that formula. I'm gonna say tangent 45 degrees equals to opposite over adjacent. Tangent 45, if you put it into calculator, is 1. 1 equals to opposite over adjacent. So adjacent is gonna be cross multiply. Multiply doesn't bring it up. So I'm just multiplying that to bring it up. So A, or the adjacent side, is gonna be 7 as well. If this was 95 degrees, if this was 90 degrees, and this is 45, how much is left for the other side? 45. 45 plus 45 is 90. 90, 90 is 180. What does that make this triangle? These triangles are isosceles. So this side and this side are equal. So if that is 7, that is 7 too. So that's another way of looking at it.